The Glass House by Garrett Kennedy. What is the Glass House? It is a famous house in New Canaan, and it is known for its unique architecture. And this architecture is that it is made entirely of glass, and you can see it through the house. And it's also that the house doesn't have any walls. The architect Philip Johnson created this house as his primary residence, and he lived there from 1949 to 2005, which is when he died. Every year, thousands of people make the journey to New Canaan to see this house, and it was inspired by the Farnsworth House in Illinois. And it is on a 49-acre estate, and this provided privacy for Johnson, as people wouldn't be looking into his house and seeing what he was doing. And some more about the Glass House, and on this 49-acre property, there are 14 other structures. One of these structures is a museum for art. And this 49-acre property is backdropped by scenery that Johnson referred to as expensive wallpaper. And this shows the beauty of the surrounding areas. It is a part of the National Trust for Historic Preservation. And this is a privately funded nonprofit organization that works to save America's historic places. The Glass House serves as a catalyst for the preservation and interpretation of modern architecture. The Trust believes that historic sites should be used for learning, reflection, and truth-telling. And despite Johnson's past, the House Trust is committed to exploring that past and the wrongdoings of Johnson's beliefs. And some more about Philip Johnson. He was born on July 8th, 1906 in Cleveland, Ohio, and he died on January 25th, 2005 in New Canaan, Connecticut. He attended Harvard's School of Design and Architecture, and he is well known for his modern architecture and seen as a defining figure in postmodern architecture. He also designed many other famous buildings throughout the world, such as the Seagram Building in New York, 550 Madison Avenue in New York, as well as the Christ Cathedral, which is in Orange County, California, and belongs to the Orange County Diocese. And he is a controversial figure because of his Nazi beliefs. And during World War II, he actively campaigned for Nazi causes in the US and around the world. And he created a fascist organization in the United States called the Gray Shirts. And he was with the Nazis when they invaded Poland and thought the reaction was blown out of proportion. And this can be seen when he was in an interview describing the Glass House. He said that one of the parts of the Glass House reminded him of a destroyed village that he had seen, and this can be inferred because you're referencing a village he saw in Poland when the Nazis invaded. And he was so far cut up in the Nazis' business that he was suspected of being a spy for the Nazis by the FBI. And he said that you simply could not fail to be caught up in the excitement of it when talking about attending a Hitler rally. So here's a short 2-minute video of what's inside the Glass House.
The Glass House itself. People often ask, did he live here? And Johnson considered the Glass House his primary residence. The Glass House itself is about 55 feet long by 35 feet, and there are no interior supports. It is a steel frame structure, and all of its walls, windows, and doors are made of glass. This oak tree was here in 1949, and Johnson said, I use this oak tree, I hang my hat off of it. So if you can think of the oak tree as this place off of which the Glass House is hung. Most people, and myself included, when I was studying architecture and learning about the Glass House, there's the famous 1949 photo by Ezra Stoller of the glass house. It's taken from the gravel path, and the glass house just looks like one structure. It looks like an object on a lawn. And when you actually come visit, you realize how integrated the glass house is to the site itself. And then when you are actually inside the glass house, you realize the glass house is really about looking out. It's not to be looked at like an object, but to look out from. Johnson has described the glass house as a permanent camping trip. And a pretty nice one.
And some more about the design of the glass house. It is considered a mid-century modern design, and when we say mid-century, it refers to the 20th century or the 1900s. It is referred to as a mixture between the architecture of Mies van der Rohe, the design and architecture of Malevich, and the design of the Parthenon. And many other famous pieces of architecture each had its influence on the design of the glass house. It is 55 feet long and 33 feet wide, with a total of 1,815 square feet. Each of the four walls of the house have a door that leads into the surrounding landscape, and it is famous for its integration into the landscape. The living room is the focal point of the house, and a rug in that living room defines the area, and the seating around a low table anchors the space. So some more about the design. It is a traditional living space, however there are no walls. It has a kitchen, a dining room, a health area, a bathroom, and entrance area, which is all like a normal house. And Johnson said that the hardest part of creating the house was determining which parts of the 49-acre property were worth building on. He designed the house to resemble English gardens from the 18th century, and the furniture inside the house is meant to contrast the ever-changing landscape of Connecticut and the climates and the cultures. The room with the greatest privacy for him was the bedroom, as he didn't want people looking into his business. And when this house was built in 1949, the open space floor plan designs were less common than they were today, so it was looked at as abnormal. So, and some more about the design. There were several stages that went into designing the house. Johnson originally was going to create a stone and brick house on this property that utilized the use of arches. However, he designed a glass house. And Johnson claims that it's the only house in the world where you can see the sunset and the moon rise at the same time while standing in the same place. And this is impossible in any other house because you have to switch sides of the house to move room to see the sunset and the sunrise because they're on different sides of the earth. However, in a glass house, you can just stand in one place and look to both sides, and you can see the sides where the sun sets and the moon rises. And this picture on the left is a picture of the dining room, which we talked about earlier. It has the rug that kind of stands out, and this is also the table that anchors the room. And the picture on the right is a picture of the glass house that from the outside. And it is a popular destination for people that are in the elite status of society, and it is available for those that can afford it to rent. However, one night at the glass house costs $30,000, and this includes dinner for 10 and lodging for up to 2 people. And you can book an event or an overnight stay, and many people that are famous have came here for photo shoots and stuff from magazines have also been filmed here.